Welcome back to my YouTube channel Unfog with Dr. Atahar Parvin. Friends, in this class, let us continue with the GPSTR 2022 PM method question paper. We have made a playlist of this series. Now, this is going to be the 7th part of this series. So, in this class, we will be discussing 3 marks descriptive question and answers specifically based from the mathematics part of the questions. Okay. So, in the previous class, we have already discussed about how to write a descriptive answer while we were discussing about the 2 marks questions and answers. So, in this class, we will be focusing on the answers of these questions, and the highlight of this class is going to be one particular question wherein we have to find the zeros of a polynomial. For that, we have to do the division of the polynomial, which aspirants find very tough. So that's why we have come up with a alternative method. We can also call it as a trick and still score 3 marks in the descriptive part. So please watch this video till the end to know all these details of the mathematics descriptive part questions from this question paper. So let us start with the first question from the GPSTR 2022 question paper for 3 marks questions. So this question is question number 59. Find the value of x square plus 1 by x square when x is equal to 5 plus 2 root 6. So here specifically this question is from algebraic identities, and it is a very famous question. This type of questions have been asked many times in Karnataka TET also. So please make sure that you watch this class till the end, even though if you are not a GPSTR aspirant. If you are also focusing on HSTR, CRICE and TET, then also this class is going to be very useful for you, because these questions which are asked as questions from the descriptive part are usually also asked as multiple choice questions in HSTR, TET, and you can also expect in CRICE also. Okay, so that's why I am telling you, please take this class seriously and watch till the end. So we have been discussing about these type of problems in all TETs every time we take the classes for mathematics, because this is a very important question and we can expect it again this time also. Okay, so we have to find the value of x square plus 1 by x square when x is equal to 5 plus 2 root 6. So what you have to do here, when you find this type of expression, one thing should click in your mind, that you are going to use the formula a plus b whole square here. If it was cube, then you should understand that the formula a plus b whole cube will be useful in that particular question. Okay, so here x is equal to 5 plus 2 root 6, right? So what will be 1 by x? Now to find 1 by x, you should be doing rationalization of surds here, right? So here into 5 minus 2 root 6 by 5 minus 2 root 6. So this is going to be equal to 5 minus 2 root 6 in the numerator, and in the denominator we are going to use a plus b into a minus b, which is going to be a square minus b square. So 5 square minus 2 root 6 whole square. So this will give us 5 minus 2 root 6 divided by 25 minus 2 into square root of 6 whole square will be 4 into 6, which is going to be 24. So now our 1 by x became 5 minus 2 root 6, right? So I have 1 by x now, and I already have x value which is given in the question. So what I do, I take x plus 1 by x. Then this is going to be equal to 5 plus 2 root 6 plus 5 minus 2 root 6. So this is going to be cancelled here. So I will have 10, right? Now this x plus 1 by x is equal to 10. I will square both sides. So I will have x plus 1 by x whole square is equal to 10 square, which will be 100. Now apply a plus b whole square formula. So this is identity 1. Now again you are going to use a plus b whole square formula. This is identity 2. So you are going to use two identities here along with rationalization process, right? So I will have x square. See, what is a plus b whole square? A square plus b square plus 2ab. So here again 1 plus x square plus 2 into x into 1 by x is equal to 100. So this will be cancelled. So in the left hand side I have x square plus 1 by x square plus 2. I'll send it in the right hand side. It will become minus 2. So my answer now is x square plus 1 by x square is 98. So this is the final answer, and if you do so much you are going to get full 3 marks, right? It is in fact easy to score in descriptive part, because see, if this is a 3 marks question, if you at least write a rationalization procedure, you may get 1 mark. Then if you know another identity, you may get 2 marks. After third identity, if you go for final answer, you will get full 3 marks. So this is the advantage of having descriptive part. Okay, only thing is that you should be knowing the concepts, and chapter wise you should have practiced all type of problems. Okay, clear, right? This is a statistics problem. Calculate the mean for the following frequency distribution table. So you have to calculate the mean here. So they have given class interval, they have given frequency. So you can make a table also, and then you find out a xi. How do you find out xi? Here it is 5 minus 15, which is 10, right? Again 5 minus 25 from the second class interval. Again 5 minus 35. Again 5 minus 45. Again 5 minus 55. So you will get xi here. Frequency they are given in the question. With that you can just multiply xi and fi to get fi xi. Now in order to find the mean or x bar is equal to sum fi xi divided by total frequency, right? So here, so you have to do the sum of this. If you add all this, you will get 560. So here in the numerator you write 560, and in the denominator you have to do sum of all the frequencies. If you do the sum of all these frequencies, you will get 20. So this is going to be your answer. If you cancel, you will get 28. Okay, clear, right? So statistics is a very scoring chapter actually, because you can expect 2 to 3 questions from this chapter. So that's why remember that statistics is a important chapter, especially when we talk about descriptive and next level MCQs like for HSTR and CRIS. Okay, so this is important for all, not only for GPSTR and TET, but for HSTR also, for CRIS also. Some of the important questions come from this topic. Okay, next question number 61. Find the area of a triangle whose measure of two sides are 8 cm and 11 cm and the perimeter is 32 cm. So this is, you can say, from the chapter of triangle, or you can also put it in the chapter of mensuration also. So you should be knowing the formulae. I have already told you many times, you have to make the list of formulae. If you have the list of formulae and if you know those formulae, then things will become very easy. 50% of your task is done in mathematics. Okay, so here you should be knowing that for a perimeter, if the area is given, then you can easily find out the sides also by using this formula, which is equal to area of the triangle. Okay, so this formula, area of the given triangle is equal to square root of s into s minus a into s minus b into s minus c. Now remember, what is this s? It is not a perimeter, it is a semi-perimeter. So if the perimeter is 32 centimeter, what will be s here? S will be equal to 16 centimeter. Okay, and two sides they have given. One is 8 centimeter, another is 11 centimeter. Now only you have to find the third side, and then you can find out the area. So in order to find the third side, what you can do? First, you just add up the perimeter. This like this. This is equal to actually 2s, right? Because 2s is nothing but perimeter, right? That is what we have done here, right? So here A they have given is 8, B they have given is 11, C we can find out 2 into what is the S we calculated 16, or directly you can write perimeter there. You don't need to calculate also, right? So this you can directly write as perimeter only, right? So this is your perimeter. So 32. So with this you get C is equal to 13, right? Now you put C in this. A and B we already have. You will get area of the triangle. That's it. Your full 3 marks are scored here. So for that you should be knowing the concept of perimeter, the concept of semi-perimeter, and that this formula relates area of triangle and the semi-perimeter of the triangle. Okay, clear, right? Next, question number 62. Now this question is from polynomials. Find the other two zeros of polynomial x cube minus 7x plus 6 when one of its zero is minus 3. So basically zeros here means they are talking about roots. Okay, they are asking you to find two roots of the given polynomial and they have given one root which is minus 3. So this is one procedure, the typical phenomena wherein we can divide the polynomial and then we can find out the value of x, then use the dividend divisor quotient remainder formula, then you will get the roots. This is one typical procedure which we have already explained many times even in the paid classes also. But here I want to give you one shortcut method which is also useful in the descriptive part also. Okay. Here you can see with this procedure we got roots 2 and 1, right? Now I am going to tell you another simple procedure. We should get 1 and 2, right? So here the given polynomial we treat it as f of x, right? F of x is equal to x cube minus 7x plus 6, right? Now one root they have given. They are telling that x is equal to minus 3, right? I can put this minus 3 in this equation, right? So I get f of minus 3 is equal to minus 3 whole cube minus 7 into minus 3 plus 6, right? So I get here 27 with minus sign, again 21 with the plus sign, and 6 I have. So this is going to be 0. So with this what I understood is that f of minus 3 is 0, which means that x plus 3 is a factor. This concept if you know, then things will become very easy for you. In fact, this is the same method which you use in the previous method also. X plus 3 you will use to divide x cube minus 7x plus 6, right? Now without doing division and all that, I am giving you simple procedure here. What you have to do is you have to write the factor form. If you write the factor form, things will become very easy and you can compare and find out the roots of the given polynomial. So we have the factor form f of x is equal to x plus 3. That is the factor now, right? What is the standard polynomial again? If I have to write here, it is a quadratic equation, right? Like this, plus c, right? Now in place of f of x, I will write x plus 3 into ax square plus bx plus c. I will expand this and this I will multiply and I will expand. So I will get ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus 3ax square plus 3bx plus 3c. Okay. Now I will rewrite this equation to maintain the standard form. First I should get x cube, right? Ax cube, correct. Then I should get bx square, right? Then I should get x square, right? I have bx square 3ax square, right? So I have to take b plus 3a common, then I can write x square like this. Again next one will be my x, right? So I have cx 3bx, right? So c plus 3b if I take common, then I can have x here plus 3c, the constant, right? Now I can compare the coefficients of this equation with the polynomial x cube minus 7x plus 6, right? Correct, right? So x cube, see, I will write like this, ax cube plus b plus 3a into x square plus c plus 3b into x plus c should be equal to x cube plus again x square, but that x square is not there in the question, so I will put 0. Again x. So here in the question I have minus 7x, right? So I will write minus 7x here. Minus 7x plus, in place of constant I have 6. This implies that a is equal to 1, right? And b plus 3a is equal to 0, right? With this, what will be my value of b? It will be minus 3a, right? Correct, right? But a is 1, right? So b will be equal to minus 3. Again, what is c plus 3b? It will be minus 7, right? So c plus 3b is equal to minus 7. So c plus 3 into b is minus 3, right? Just now we found, so minus 7. So c will be equal to minus 7 plus 9. So I am getting plus 2. Correct, right? So I got a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 3, which is also given in question, and c is equal to plus 2. So these are the roots of the given polynomial. I know that many aspirants feel it tough to divide, so that's why I have come up with this alternative procedure. I really hope that this makes it easy for you to get full 3 marks. Okay, even in the multiple choice questions for HSTR and CRICE, if they ask, there also you can use this procedure. You can be little faster, you can skip few steps. Here we cannot do it because we have to keep all aspirants in mind. We have to teach in detail. Then only things will become easy for all aspirants to understand. Okay, clear, right? Next, question number 63. The length of a diagonal of a rectangular field is 60 meter more than its shortest side, and the length of longer side is 30 meter more than the shortest side. Find the area of the field. So you can put this in mensuration also. You can also put it in sort of Pythagoras theorem also, because we are going to use it. They are talking about the rectangular field and they are telling that the diagonal of that rectangular field is 60 meter more than its shortest side, and length of longer side is 30 meter more than the shortest side. So we don't know about the shortest side. Every time they are talking about the shortest side, so that's why we assume that it is x. With this we get the diagonal x plus 60 because it is more, 60 more, and the longer side is 30 more than x, so it is x plus 30. Now this is a 90 degree because they are talking about a rectangular field, and we have to find the area of this entire rectangular field. Right, now things become easy for me. I will use the Pythagoras theorem directly. Once I use the Pythagoras theorem, I will get a quadratic equation. If I solve that quadratic equation, then I will get the value of the x. Now quadratic equation will give two roots, right? One may be positive, one may be negative, but the length of the rectangular field cannot be negative. So we consider the positive side, right? So here x becomes 90, right? Once I calculate and I get value of x, I can easily find out the area of the field, because now this is my breadth. Length of the field is x plus 30, right? So this will be then 90 plus 30. So this will give me 120. So this is my length. Now what will be the area of the field then? Area of the field is going to be length into breadth. So that is going to be equal to 120 into 90. Now you have to tell me in the comment section what is going to be the area of the field, and also make sure to include the unit because it is a descriptive answer. Your units will have marks as well. If you just write the number and if you don't write the units, then you will lose at least half mark for that answer. Okay, so I want the answer in the units in the comment section. Let us see how many of you will write the answer correctly with units. Next, question number 64. It is a coordinate geometry question. Find the coordinates of the point on x-axis which is equidistant from 2, minus 5 and minus 2, 9. Now this answer is going to be very simple if you understand the concept. Here they are telling that one point is there on a x-axis. So the coordinates of that x-axis will be x, 0, remember, because here it is lying on x-axis. So y part will be 0. And what are the other 2 points which are equidistant from this? One is 2, minus 5. So it will be somewhere here, it will be 2 comma minus 5, and another one is minus 2 comma 9. So it will be somewhere here, right? Minus 2 comma 9. So these are the points. It is equidistant like this, something like this. Okay. Now you can equate these two because they are equidistant. You can apply distance formula. One group of coordinates is this. Another group of coordinates is this for distance formula, right? So here the distance formula is going to be equal to square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. So for for left hand side, you can take x1 as this one and y1 as this one and x2 as this one and y2 as this one. And for the right hand side, your x2, y2 will become this one. It is up to you. You can do anything first. Either this one you take in the left hand side or you take this one in the left hand side. Okay. So I have explained you the concept here. You just have to substitute the values of the coordinates. Now you have to calculate and tell me whether you are also getting answer minus 7, 0 or no. Okay friends, this was all about today's class. I really hope that our explanation helps you with your preparation and as well as the CET, which is expected any time soon now. So I also wanted to give this important announcement here. Actually, today was the last date for enrolling into the completed batches of GPSTR and HSTR, where aspirants would get full course at a time and aspirants could utilize the course 24/7 till the exam date in their convenience way. So now we are getting many requests from aspirants to extend the date, because once this batch is locked, aspirants will not get full course. So that's why on request of many aspirants, we are extending this last date to 14th May. So whoever is interested, please take these batches which are completed, because you will get full courses at a time. Because once the new batches are started, we will need at least 2 months for completion of the batch, and because the notifications are expected anytime soon, aspirants are worried and they want full course at a time so that they can make their own timetable and plan the studies. So we also agree with aspirants, and that's why we are extending the date till 14th May. Please make sure to keep this timeline in mind, because later we will not be able to extend the last date, because we will have to plan for new batches and we will have to keep in mind the requests of all aspirants. There are few aspirants who are asking for new batches also, but there are many aspirants who want these completed batches. So that's why we are giving preference to majority right now. So really hope that these classes are helping you all. If you have any doubts, then you can freely ask in the comment section below this video, or you can join our Telegram channel and Telegram group, and also share these classes maximum to all your friends and other aspirants, because all our future classes, even the free classes, are depending upon your response. So actively you have to give your response in the comment section, and in terms of a like button, and subscribing our channel will also help you in keeping you updated, because anytime we get any updates, we are posting here in our free classes channel, Unfog with Dr. Atahar Parveen. Okay friends, thank you. All the best. Bye.